Hello everyone and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host Rob Bentley and thanks for tuning in. On today's show we'll update you on the red-hot Ferris State football and women's soccer teams, and we'll check in with Bulldog hockey as they open the 2015-2016 season. We'll start with Bulldog football and joined by head coach Tony Annese. And coach, first of all, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Rob.
Bulldogs at 5-0 overall and maybe coming off your most complete performance of the season, a 56-21 win over the Tiffin Dragons this past weekend.
Yeah, I think it was our most complete performance. You know, I thought that we contained a great quarterback very effectively. You know, he scared the heck out of us going there, and he was the leading total offense guy in the nation, and we did a nice job of just keeping him in front. And offensively, you know, we kind of left off. We started where we left off against Findlay. You know, we scored on basically 12 straight possessions of touchdowns. You know, our last 4 at Findlay and then 8 there, and so felt great about that. I think you know, from a standpoint of doing the things you need to do execution-wise, you know, it all clicked.
As we get to the highlights of Saturday's game at Tiffin, you got off to a great start after that close game at Findlay. What was the mindset of the football team coming in?
Well, you know, we wanted to get off to a good start. It's a beautiful day, and you know, Jason's been bugging me to call a gimmick play, so I said, well, you call it, and he said, all right, I'm going to run it on the first play of the game. So we got off to a fast start. You know, this is 3rd and 5 here. It's a nice play to get the ball out and get a good play there to get a first down. And we had a couple. This is another 3rd down conversion. So we had a few 3rd down conversions. It was huge to get in the end zone right away, and it got us going with confidence. And we wanted to get a good start on them because they've been so good at home. You know, they beat Saginaw 40-0, and Wayne, you know, substantially 31-7 the week before we went there. So a little bit concerned about that, and we were able to contain Antonio there effectively, put some pressure on him, and keep him from running up and down the field on us.
See a great pass here from Jason to Jake Lampman. Jake had 3 touchdowns on the day. You were able to spread the football around again.
Yeah, here's another 3rd and 10 too, hitting Antonio across the field, and yards after catch. You know, it's just a great run to get a first down, and we were able to do that. We also got Jahan going. It's a downhill run that we are hoping to get going, and as our offense progresses, we're able to do some better things. Our running backs had 200 yards, over 200 yards collectively, and that's huge for us.
Lampman into the end zone here to make it 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. A quick start as you certainly wanted to jump on them early, and were able to do that.
Yeah, you know, they again scared us a little bit in regards to their potential, and we were just able to. He's a hard guy to get down. We were able to contain him, and you know, their biggest play of the game was a 21-yard play, and that was our philosophy going in. Here you see Jahan just basically doing what Jahan does, and it was great to see him going. It's really the first time that we've been able to get our running backs, you know, collectively involved in the run game, like at the level we want.
You see Jason up the middle here, becoming the GLIAC's all-time leader in total offense. Talk about what that accomplishment means.
It's incredible. You know, we've had some great players in the GLIAC, and obviously NFL caliber players. You know, the GLIAC has more NFL players of any Division II league in the nation, and so we're pleased by that. And now Jason's leading total offense guy in the history of the GLIAC, so that's awesome.
Bulldogs here with another first down, and you were able to extend your lead 35-7 at halftime. As we watch some second quarter action here, what was the mindset going into halftime with that big lead?
Well, our worst play was trying to take a knee right before half, which we fumbled the snap, and then Jason put his hand on the ball like that was good enough, and so it was loose, but we recovered. And our second worst play was a kick return that we didn't do a very good job at. But at halftime, I just, you know, this is their score to make it 35-7 right before half, and I talked to him about just, you know, even if Tiffin takes the ball and scores, we've got to score. And I told him we had to score at least 2 possessions in a row, and then that would kind of, you know, be the dagger. And we were able to score 3 straight possessions. Here Jahan just fights and fights and fights and gets it to the end zone, which is just huge. And so, you know, here we get Jamel up the seam, and it's a long pass, and he takes it the distance. So we wanted to score early in the second half and try to just close them out and kind of take the wind out of their sails.
Not only were you able to get some scores, you got some stops in the third quarter, extended the lead to 49-7. Just talk about the play overall of the defense on the day.
Yeah, that was their biggest play, 21 yards against us. So all in all, I thought our defense was really smart. Our staff had them really prepared. I just didn't want them to have big plays. I didn't want Antonio Pippin to be able to run all over the place on us. And you know, once you get a guy like that loose, you know, it's difficult to handle. So we had a lot of second-level players eyeballing him to make sure he didn't, you know, cut it loose. And so that was huge. And obviously, you know, we went up 56-14 at the end of the third quarter, and a lot of our younger guys got to play.
What does that experience do for them, getting to play in a game like that in the second half?
Well, you know, Trevor getting reps, all of the guys that travel for the most part are able to play, and so it just builds depth, it builds morale, it builds a sense of camaraderie that's really important for us to you know, moving forward to be effective.
This week, back at home at Top Taggart Field, open a 2-game homestand facing Ohio Dominican. Talk about the Panthers, a rematch of last year's NCAA playoffs.
Yeah, I always kind of put different hurdles on a season, and obviously the first 3 games, which were more local, you know, Northwood, Grand Valley, Saginaw, that was the first hurdle, and then you know the second hurdle was, to me, and not to say those first 3 weren't tough because we knew they would be, but going to Ohio 2 straight weeks. Finley had only had 1 loss. Tiffin had only had 1 loss, and so you know that was a huge hurdle to jump over. Now we get to come back home. If we're not excited, if people aren't excited to watch us play Ohio Dominican again. You know, we played them twice last year. We beat them at their place. They ruined our dreams in the playoffs, and they're a great team. And so they come here again, and it'll be exciting. It'll be a great opportunity for us to play a crucial game in front of our home crowd.
This weekend also marks the 20th anniversary of the 1995 football team that'll be back celebrating their achievements. Talk about that team and what that team means to Bulldog football.
Well, it's just, I mean, they were in '95 where we are now, you know, with you know, a solid, you know, regular season win streak and fighting for championships and trying to be the best teams that, you know, ever played at Ferris State in the history of the school. So it'll be nice to connect with them. On Friday, we're going to have a meal with them, and it'll be awesome. You know, 20 years. Is that 20 or 30? 20 years. My math is really good, but 20 years where you know, those guys are coming back and still feeling the greatness of Ferris State football, and they'll have a great opportunity to talk with us, and we'll have a great opportunity to learn from them.
Speaking of math, Jason, 71 yards away from becoming the all-time rushing quarterback in NCAA history at any level. What will that mean when he finally is able to break that record?
Yeah, I think it's more than NCAA. I think it's even NAIA. I think it's in the history of football. The history's a long time here, and I know that you know, Fran Tarkenton was a great quarterback, played college football, or you know, Staubach, or you know, I mean, you go on and on about all the great quarterbacks that have played this game. You know, Denard Robinson was a great rushing quarterback. You know, Steve Young, and you know, Jason's gonna, you know, potentially have that opportunity to break this record on Saturday. We're not going to worry about it. If it happens this Saturday, eventually we expect it to happen. But just unbelievable, just to have that number. You know, just to have that a number of yards in a career is just, it's insane to me. And I've been blessed to be the head coach of Jason Vanderlaan and these young men since they started, and so I've lived this and had not, you know, I just feel blessed to even be a part of something that's so special. And Jason last Saturday played, in my opinion, he played the best game he's ever played in a Ferris State University uniform. He was just incredible. So he's really hitting it at all strides, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, best of luck to the Bulldogs. Looking forward to a big game on Saturday against Ohio Dominican.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.